When my parents sent me overseas, Leo was playing in the college freshman basketball game. My own sister and my fiancé were both there cheering him on. That glory should have been mine. Even the autographed star jersey he wore should have been my 14th birthday present. I fought with Leo for most of my life. No matter if I was right or wrong, all he had to do was play the victim, and Mom and Dad would defend him without hesitation and blame me. But I was their biological son. It wasn't until I died alone and sick overseas that it finally hit me. If there was a next time, I would never again fight for their already biased affection. When I opened my eyes again, I was 13. It was the day Leo officially became part of our family, his name added to the household register. Leo was my uncle's only son. My uncle and aunt had tragically died in a car accident while taking him out for fun. Leo survived, but was left frail. My dad and uncle were brothers, and Dad, afraid Leo would suffer in foster care, adopted him, making him their child too. Leo sat beside Mom, his voice filled with joy. Am I really going to have a mom and dad now? They won't call me an orphan anymore, right? Mom patted his shoulder lovingly. That's right. From now on, we're your mom and dad, and this is your home now. I stood on the stairs coldly, watching the heartwarming scene below. Then Dad noticed me. He frowned, his expression wary, as if he already assumed I'd make trouble for Leo. What are you doing standing there? Do I have to invite you down? He demanded. From now on, Leo is your brother. He's frail and has been through a lot. You need to give way to him. Don't let me catch you bullying him. Hearing the same words as in my past life, my heart sank. Leo is frail. As the older brother, you must give way to him. I'd heard those two sentences until I was sick of them in my previous life. I used to be the most cherished child in the family. But ever since Mom and Dad adopted Leo, they favored and doted on him constantly because his background was pitiful and he was weak and often sick. I had to let him have his way and accommodate him. In the end, even the little affection I had left was given entirely to him. But I was only 2 weeks older than him. Furthermore, Leo was originally just my cousin. Why did my parents grant his every wish like he was their real son, just because he was fragile? I still remembered how in my past life, after Leo framed me, Mom and Dad didn't listen to a word of my explanation, instead busying themselves comforting him. Finally, based on his tearful accusations, they declared me guilty and sent me overseas, saying it was out of sight, out of mind. They also said, "We've done all we could for you. We don't have a son as malicious as you." Perhaps because I was lost in memory and didn't respond to Dad, Mom started scolding me too. "Nathan, be reasonable. Stop bullying Leo." A flicker of triumph flashed in Leo's eyes. Seeing me silent, he added fuel to the fire. "I won't go in a brother's room anymore. Nathan, please don't hate me." Oh, right. Just 2 days ago, he'd swaggered into my room and smashed my collectible figure right in front of me. When Mom and Dad arrived, he put on his frail act, crying about wanting to go back to foster care, saying I didn't welcome him. And just like that, they chewed me out without asking questions or getting the facts straight. I scoffed and turned to go upstairs. Mom called my name, but Dad cut her off. "Fine, leave him. Just keep an eye on Leo from now on. Don't let him get bullied. He's so grown up yet so immature." My hand paused on the railing. Then I nonchalantly went back to my room. Even though from the moment I was reborn, I decided to give up on their love, my own father's words still stabbed me like a knife. I ignored Leo. Having been given a second chance, I didn't want to waste it on these people. As long as I studied hard, I'd have the means to leave this family. I wouldn't interfere with their happy family of 4 anymore. I was in my room studying when there was a knock. Leo's deliberately lowered voice came from outside. "Nathan Miller, don't think hiding in your room like a coward solves anything. Your parents will be mine sooner or later. Just wait and see how I kick you out." I pretended not to hear his arrogant words. Anyway, I had no interest in fighting him, but after a while, I heard Leo start crying outside my door. "Anna, is Nathan still mad at me? I brought him a drink, and he told me to get lost. I shouldn't have touched that figure. I know I'm not worthy. Maybe I should just go back to foster care. You've all been so good to me. I'll repay you someday. I hope once I'm gone, Nathan can forgive me." Mom rushed over to comfort him. "It's not your fault. Nathan's just spoiled by us. My sister, Anna Miller chimed in too. Nathan just has a terrible temper. I'll teach him a lesson for you later. You're part of the family now. Saying things like that hurts us. Annoyed by the noise, I pulled the door open. Can you stop being so clingy and nauseating outside my door? Leo apologized in a panic. Nathan, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I'll pack my things and go back to foster care right away. Please don't be mad at me. It's all my fault. Anna frowned and started reprimanding me. Nathan, your temper is really getting worse. It's just a figurine. Is it worth holding on to it like this? Mom looked at me too. All right, Nathan, there's a limit to tantrums. Besides, you dropped the figurine yourself. What does it have to do with Leo? I gripped the doorknob tightly. I'll say it again. He dropped the figurine. Not me. Dad came up the stairs yelling at me. Nathan Miller, stop blaming Leo for everything. Take responsibility for your own actions. What benefit would Leo get from lying to us? Don't think you can push the blame onto him just because he's easy to bully. Let me tell you, Leo is your brother now. Stop giving him attitude. I didn't pursue it earlier to save you face. Now apologize to Leo immediately. I watched Mom and Dad standing against me, Anna protectively holding Leo's shoulder, whispering comfort. It was as if they were the family of four, and I was just a child living under their roof. It was absurd. My own parents didn't believe their child, but believed an outsider. Not only did they not defend me, but they aggressively demanded I apologize to the person who framed me. Even the sister who had doted on me since childhood had become Leo's sister. Catching Leo's slightly upturned lips, I refused to listen to Dad's accusations anymore and slammed the door shut, ignoring his banging and demands for an apology. Leaning against the door, I tried to calm myself, faintly hearing them comforting Leo. This life was no different from the last. Even if I didn't make trouble for Leo like before, they would still think I was bullying him. If he shed just 2 tears, his mistakes would become mine. How ridiculous. My 14th birthday arrived. Mom and Dad's gift was a jersey with my favorite player's autograph. They knew I was a fan and really wanted his signature, but I felt no joy, just stared blankly at the jersey. Nathan, we haven't neglected you. We still love you, Mom said gently. But you also need to treat Leo well. Control your temper. Understand. Dad took the opportunity to persuade me, too. Look, this signature you wanted, we went to great lengths to get it for you. We just hope you can be considerate of us and take good care of Leo. You're the older brother. You should be more sensible. Set an example for Leo. I noticed the fleeting envy in Leo's eyes, followed by his act of wanting to touch it, but not daring to, looking longingly at the jersey in my hands. Nathan likes this player, too. I like him, too. But unfortunately, my family was poor before and couldn't afford things like this. Can I just touch this jersey? I promise I won't damage it. I'm so envious of you, Nathan. Mom and Dad's spoiled expression immediately elicited sympathy from Mom and Dad. Just like in the previous life, Dad snatched the jersey from my hands and gave it to Leo. He told me firmly, since Leo likes it, just give it to him. Didn't I just tell you to give way to your younger brother? You haven't forgotten, have you? Leo grabbed the jersey, asking delightedly, Is it really for me? I'm so happy, Mom. Mom stroked his hair. Why not? We're all family. What's Nathan's is yours, too. Your brother's after all, just like last time. Leo took the jersey from me. Mom and Dad coaxed me, saying they'd compensate me with a better gift, but I never saw it. Not even until I died. And when I insisted on fighting Leo for it, I got scolded by Mom and Dad for not being as sensible as Leo. But why? He just put on a little act, and my gift became his. And they told me to be generous. He wasn't even my real brother. Why should I give way to him? Even knowing the answer, I couldn't help but ask, whose birthday is it anyway? Why is he the one getting the present? Dad flew into a rage, pointing at my nose and yelling, I see the older you get, the less sensible you become. We're family. Do you have to be so petty about this? Have you been short on gifts usually? All you talk about is getting gifts. Don't you know how tired we are from work? We just spoiled you too much before. I nodded disappointedly, said nothing, and turned upstairs. Behind me, I could hear Leo's faint sobbing while Mom and Dad were busy comforting him. Even Anna gave him the birthday present originally meant for me. But today was my birthday. 2 weeks later, for Leo's birthday, Dad rented out an entire arcade for Leo to invite his classmates for a celebration just because Leo mentioned wanting to invite friends to play together. And for dinner, Dad generously booked a 5-star restaurant in downtown Chicago. I heard it was lavish with a 3-tiered cake. As their biological son, I wasn't on the guest list. They just gave me $20 and told me to sort out my own dinner. The reason? They were afraid I'd cause a scene at Leo's party and make things awkward. They didn't even bring me back a piece of cake. I ate leftovers from lunch alone at home. I didn't complain, didn't throw a tantrum, just quietly stayed in my room with my books, preparing for the day I could leave this house. Midterm exam results came out. I got first place as expected. The school also scheduled parent-teacher conferences. As soon as I got home, I heard Leo's downcast voice. "Mom, I'm so stupid. I can't even catch up to Nathan. Are you going to abandon me? But I really can't learn it. I'm just too dumb. Not worthy of being your child." Dad comforted him. "It's okay. Grades don't decide everything. Besides, Nathan's grades, you know how he is. He probably doesn't study seriously. Maybe he cheated." Mom agreed. "Yeah, Leo, you're doing fine as you are. Don't exhaust yourself over studying. Your body can't take that kind of strain." They claimed to love me, yet to comfort Leo, they disparaged me right in front of him just to make Leo happy. If they weren't my real parents, I'd have to applaud them. What a pair of doting parents. I stood at the door, a sarcastic smile playing on my lips. Leo finally smiled through his tears. "Mom and Dad are the best. I don't have to worry about going back to foster care." Mom hugged him tenderly. "How could we? You'll always be our child. Your sister will take care of you." "Don't worry," Anna also promised, patting her chest. Leo smiled shyly, looking expectantly at Mom and Dad. "So, can Mom and Dad come to my parent-teacher conference?" "Of course, we'll both go," Dad reassured him. Only then did Leo seem to notice me, calling out, "Nathan." The atmosphere in the living room instantly chilled. I pretended not to hear and walked straight in. "The school's having parent-teacher conferences. Who's going?" Mom opened her mouth, looking apologetic. "Nathan, your dad and I have to go to Leo's conference. As for yours." I cut her off bluntly, tilting my head up. "Does it take 2 people to go to his conference? Why are you so inconsiderate? You know Leo's health condition. The doctor said he needs careful attention. As his older brother, even if you're not understanding, why are you fighting over this too?" Knowing the outcome would be the same as last time, I still held on to hope, only to humiliate myself. I turned back to my room, ignoring the scolding behind me. My heart just grew colder and colder. My 15th birthday arrived as scheduled. When I got home from school, the house was empty and quiet. Just as I took out my phone in my room, Mom's call came through. It was noisy on her end. "Nathan, Mom and Dad are working overtime. We can't celebrate your birthday this year. Leo and your sister are here with us. Mom sent you some money on Venmo. Remember to accept it and get yourself dinner. We won't be back tonight. Don't wait up for us." I heard Leo loudly call out, "Mom," and she hastily hung up. I swiped my phone screen, saw the Venmo notification from Mom, and smirked without accepting it. It wouldn't be more than $200 anyway. What was there to accept? As I finished making instant noodles and picked up my phone to study, I suddenly saw Leo's social media post. I'd forgotten about this. Last time, my birthday was just like today. Just because a fairly well-known singer was holding a concert in nearby Milwaukee, and Leo mentioned wanting to go, Mom and Dad took him and Anna without a second thought. Later, Mom remembered it was my birthday, sent me $200 and lied, saying they were working overtime. But the next day, I saw Leo's post. When they came back, I caused a scene. Then Leo cried about wanting to go back to foster care, and Dad forced me to apologize to him. Snapping out of the memory, I opened his post. Leo was holding a glowing light stick, giving a big V sign to the camera. There was also a photo of the 4 of them together, the concert venue in the background. Yes, their family of 4. Without me, everyone in their family was smiling happily. They said they had to work overtime and couldn't celebrate my birthday, only sending me a Venmo payment capped at $200. Yet, they took Leo to a concert on my birthday, didn't bring me, and even lied to me. It was the same both lifetimes, it suddenly made me feel sick. Time flew by quickly. I successfully got into a top high school in Evanston and managed to secure dorm accommodation. To avoid Leo, I usually didn't even go home during holidays, instead handing out flyers on the streets of Chicago to earn spending money. When summer vacation started, I had no reason not to go back. So I packed my bags. It seemed that without me home for the past 6 months, the bond between the four of them had grown even stronger. They seemed more like a family than I, the actual son, ever did. When I arrived home, the living room was empty. I didn't care and dragged my suitcase straight upstairs. When I pushed open my bedroom door, I wasn't greeted by the familiar sight of my room. My bed and desk were gone, replaced by several expensive computers and gaming chairs. On the side, there was a projector screen for movies. Hearing the noise, Leo took off his headphones. Seeing it was me, he raised an eyebrow smugly. Well, if it isn't Nathan, finally decided to come back. See this? Mom and Dad turned your room into my personal gaming room. Sometimes our whole family watches movies here. I told you I'd kick you out of the Miller family. This is just the first step. I kicked the door wide open, staring coldly at him. He smirked, sat on the floor, and looked up at me. This house is no longer a place for you. Just as I was about to retaliate out of anger, he immediately started crying loudly. Nathan, please don't kick me out. Anna was the first to arrive. Alerted by the sound, she pushed me aside forcefully and knelt beside Leo anxiously. Leo, what's wrong? Who bullied you? Leo leaned into Anna's shoulder, his eyes red. Sister, it's all my fault. I just want to play games to relax. Don't fight because of me. The family should be harmonious. Brother hasn't been home for half a year. He must miss Mom and Dad a lot. If brother minds, I can leave. Anyway, at my age, I should be independent. After saying that, Leo coughed heavily, swaying as if about to faint. Anna immediately supported him and yelled at me. Nathan Miller, do you have to stir up trouble in the family? You come back and immediately upset your brother. You're such bad luck. Whenever you're home, everyone feels uncomfortable. Leo doesn't owe you anything. In fact, you owe him. Leo has said so many good things about you. And what about you? The moment you walk in, you want to kick him out. Are you even human? Facing Anna's heartbroken accusations, I suddenly felt utterly drained. I hadn't said a word. Yet, she had piled so many charges on me. And I understood clearly now. This sister in both lifetimes would only ever side with Leo, not me, her biological brother. The noisy scolding became unbearable. So without hesitation, I raised my hand and slapped Anna across the face. Anna's head snapped to the side. She was stunned. Mom and Dad, who had just arrived, were also stunned. Nathan Miller, what are you doing? Mom protectively pulled Anna into her arms. Even Leo stumbled up from the floor to comfort Anna. Dad looked at me heartbroken. Nathan Miller, I don't know what you've been learning out there. Hitting your own sister. I see this family means nothing to you anymore. It's actually quieter at home without you. The moment you come back, you turn everything upside down. I met Dad's eyes unflinchingly and asked sarcastically, when did this family ever include me? My wonderful family turned the room I lived in for over 10 years into a gaming room for my cousin. Mom and Dad both faltered, guilty, averting their eyes. Seeing the situation shift, Leo covered his mouth and sobbed. I'm sorry, Nathan. It's all my fault. If it weren't for me, you wouldn't have made Mom and Dad angry. If I leave, maybe you can get along with Mom and Dad. I'll leave now. I'm already so grateful for how Mom, Dad, and sister have treated me all these years. With a pale face, he started walking towards the door, but was stopped by Anna. Now Mom and Dad couldn't be bothered with lecturing me, rushing to console Leo. Catching Leo's hidden, triumphant smile directed at me, I turned, grabbed my suitcase, and went to the guest room downstairs. The next day, it was already noon when I came out of my room. The whole family was gathered around the table, laden with steaming dishes. Seeing me emerge, Leo greeted me enthusiastically. Nathan, you're up. I specially ordered this for you. Mom, Dad, Anna, and I eat at this place often. It's delicious. So I got takeout. You should try it, too. Nathan. I paid for it with my own money. You know, something similar happened in my past life, But back then, Leo insisted on cooking me a bowl of birthday noodles himself to celebrate my birthday. I knocked that bowl over immediately because I'm allergic to seafood, and it was seafood noodles. Mom, Dad, and Anna seemed to have forgotten my allergy, too, unjustly blaming me. Even when they found out later, they dismissed it carelessly. If you weren't going to eat it, couldn't you just say so? Did you have to waste Leo's kind gesture? Leo didn't know you were allergic. How could he not know? The first time I ever ate seafood was at Leo's house. Before that, I'd never had it and didn't know I was allergic. After eating just one shrimp at his place, I broke out in hives all over. The whole family panicked. Back then, Anna was still my sister, influenced by TV dramas. She thought my aunt was trying to harm me, pushed her hard, and yelled at her with red eyes. She was only 8, too timid to even ask for prices when shopping. Yet, for my sake, she dared to loudly condemn adults. But that was the past. I blinked, hiding the sting in my eyes. Seeing me still standing there, not taking a seat, Anna lost her patience. Nathan Miller, do you have any manners? The whole family has been waiting for you this long. Who are you sulking at? I looked at the seafood feast on the table, saw no hint of surprise on their faces, and asked softly, I've lived in this house for over 10 years. How long has Leo been here that you've forgotten I'm allergic to seafood? The entire family fell silent. Even Anna was uncharacteristically quiet. How worried they were about me back then. Dad even threatened to cut ties with my uncle's family. Anna clung to me, crying, promising to give me her favorite doll. Leo was hiding in a corner then. How could he not know? Ever since my seafood allergy was discovered, seafood never appeared on our dinner table again. Even when they ate out, they wouldn't order it. But now they had all forgotten. Their eyes only saw Leo, not me. Mom and Dad looked a bit ashamed. Leo started crying anxiously. I'm sorry, Nathan. I didn't know. It's all my fault. Don't blame Mom and Dad. I'll just leave. He stumbled towards the door. Mom and Dad, forgetting about me, rushed to comfort him. It's okay. You didn't do it on purpose. Yeah, besides, Nathan is fine. Don't blame yourself. Nathan, hurry up and comfort Leo. Me, the victim, expected to comfort the perpetrator. I found it utterly ridiculous. Ignoring the drama, I simply turned and left. Soon the college entrance exams concluded. I scored a top 736, becoming the state's top scorer in the science stream, and was accepted into Harvard as I wished. Mom and Dad seemed proud, rarely criticizing me anymore. They even threw me a graduation party, boasting about me to everyone they met, consequently neglecting Leo. On the day of the party, Mom and Dad were cheerfully greeting guests. Suddenly, Anna rushed over looking anxious and whispered something to them. Worry immediately clouded their faces, and they quickly left with Anna, abandoning all the guests. The guests were left looking at each other, confused. Having lived 2 lives, I had figured out Leo's pattern, using his health to grab their attention. I didn't panic. Instead, I calmly managed the guests myself, earning their praise. The most enthusiastic was Chloe's mother. She was a friend of my mom's, got pregnant out of wedlock with Chloe, and even arranged for us to be engaged. Chloe and I grew up together. She used to cling to me, and Anna would tease us because Chloe would blush whenever she saw me and shyly offer me snacks. When the Gray family took her away, she cried, saying she wanted to marry me someday and telling me not to fall for anyone else. In my past life, after Anna and my family abandoned me, Chloe was my only hope. I genuinely liked Chloe in my past life and longed for her love to prove I wasn't that bad. But she had already gotten involved with Leo. Despite me, for Leo, she left with him during our engagement party. I waited for ages, but she never showed up, suffering humiliation from everyone. I thought Mom and Dad would stand up for me as I was their biological son. Only later did I find out that my own parents and sister had covered for them. Snapping back to the present, I smiled faintly at Mrs. Gray, who was trying to cozy up to me. Mrs. Gray, I need to go to the hospital to visit Leo. Since I was studying finance at Harvard, I was valuable to the struggling Gray family to cultivate a relationship with me. She accompanied me to the hospital. In the hospital, a crowd surrounded Leo's bed. He leaned weakly against the pillows. Mom, Dad, sorry for worrying you. It was just low blood sugar. I'm fine here. You should go back and be with Nathan. I don't want to make Nathan angry again. He coughed a few times after speaking. Nathan's an adult now. He can take care of himself. But your health really makes us worry. Mom's voice was filled with affection and concern. Auntie, I'm here, Chloe said, looking tenderly at Leo. Leo's ears turned red. Mom, completely forgetting Chloe was my fiancée, beamed like a proud matchmaker. These two look so good together. Chloe sat by Leo's bed, blushed, leaned down, and kissed Leo's forehead. This exact moment was witnessed by me and Mrs. Gray. Mrs. Gray's eyes widened and she shrieked, Chloe, how could you be so shameless? Unlike my past life, where I barely got into a community college, I was now a Harvard finance student while Leo was only in vocational school. In the past, neither of us achieved much, but Leo was clearly favored. To gain access to the Miller family connections, Mrs. Gray still let Chloe marry Leo. Seeing me, Chloe's face filled with disgust. She pointed at me and said, Mom, I hate Nathan Miller. I want to break off the engagement. I want to marry Leo. I love Leo. She walked up to me. I couldn't see any trace of the little girl from our childhood in her anymore. The girl who used to put candy in my palm, crying that she didn't want to leave and wanted to stay with me forever, was dead. Her expression gradually mirrored the Chloe from my past life. Arrogant, self-important, disgusting. Nathan Miller, I would never like a low-life man like you. I only love Leo. If I find out you're bullying him again, I'll make you pay. All you do is bully the weak. It's disgusting, Mrs. Gray scolded. What nonsense are you talking? You used to say you wanted to marry Nathan when you were little, Chloe scoffed. I was blind back then. Really? What a coincidence. So was I. Mrs. Gray couldn't cover Chloe's mouth in time, looking too embarrassed to meet my eyes, and practically dragged Chloe away. Only I, Mom, Dad, Anna, and Leo remained in the room. Even after 2 lifetimes, I still asked the same question. You knew Leo and Chloe were together all along, didn't you? A flicker of guilt crossed Mom's face. Nathan, why do you have to say such ugly things? What do you mean involved? Chloe doesn't have feelings for you anyway. Since she likes Leo, why don't you just give the engagement to Leo? Anna interjected. Nathan Miller, you can't force love. If she doesn't like you, she doesn't like you. Can you force Chloe to like you since she likes Leo? I think you should just be generous, give up the engagement, and make everyone happy. Otherwise, you'll be the one embarrassed in the end. I looked at this sister who had defended Leo in both lifetimes. I remembered when she broke Dad's most expensive tea set as a child. I took the blame for her and got beaten by Dad. When she was bullied by boys in her class at school and didn't dare tell Mom and Dad, I stormed in her classroom, dragged the boy out, and got into a fight. After coming home, Dad scolded me severely and docked my allowance for a month. When I was in the hospital after the seafood allergy incident, she cried saying, Nathan, don't die. Sister doesn't want you to go. But now she had become Leo's sister. I tilted my head back, forcing the tears back. I can give the engagement to Leo, but you have to promise me 2 things. Leo's face lit up with surprise. Nathan, are you really willing? You're not tricking me, right? I didn't look at him, instead turning to Mom and Dad. Dad nodded, a hint of relief in his voice. Nathan, you've grown up, finally become sensible. Ultimately, Leo is part of our family. There's no need to make things so ugly and become a laughingstock. Later, I'll tell everyone the engagement was originally between Chloe and Leo. I forced a smile. Not so fast. I haven't stated my conditions yet. First, remove my name from the Miller family register. Second, sever all ties with me. From now on, I have absolutely no relationship with you. Mom froze, incredulous. Nathan, do you know what you're saying? It's such a small thing. Is it worth this? Why are you always causing trouble? Leo's health is already poor. As his older brother, you should naturally give way to him and care for him. What are you doing now? Threatening us? Nathan, you're such a disappointment. I felt nauseous. At this point, there was no need to spare their feelings. Trouble? When did I ever cause trouble? You wanted to raise him, add him to our family register. Did I cause trouble then? No. Right. I just didn't like him. Isn't that normal? I didn't hit him, didn't curse him, didn't subtly undermine him. Just because I don't fawn over him like you do, that's called causing trouble. I am your biological son. I don't think I've ever been unreasonably demanding or falsely accused anyone. But the moment Leo arrived, you believed everything he said and thought I was lying. Are you even fit to be parents? This is the first time I've encountered something like this. Taking in your cousin's son to raise as your own while treating your own son like an orphan. It's truly mind-boggling. Do you remember when his dad borrowed $200,000 from our family to buy a house, causing Anna and me to almost miss paying tuition? Oh, right. That $200,000 hasn't been paid back yet, has it? Instead, you're spending more money to raise their son. Knowing it was my birthday, you ignored my wishes and gave my birthday present to him, saying, "Family doesn't distinguish between yours and mine." Well, have you ever seen him let me wear that jersey? That was clearly my gift. It was my birthday. My cousin shed a few tears, and the gift went to him. For his birthday, you rented a ski resort, booked a hotel, bought a cake, and left me alone at home eating cold leftovers. At the parent-teacher conference, there were two of you, but you insisted on crowding around to support him, making your own son the only student whose parents didn't show up. Your son got first place, but to cheer up your nephew, you actually claimed your own son cheated, turning your biological son's room into your nephew's gaming room and making me sleep in the guest room. Are there any parents more absurd than you in this world? Oh, right. And lying about working overtime when you were actually taking your nephew to a concert. You haven't forgotten that, have you? Forgetting your own son is allergic to seafood. That's really funny. Is this what you call love? Do you want me to continue? Did you think if I didn't say anything, you could just pretend it didn't happen? Whitewash everything. Dream on. I even suspect you might have swapped me and Leo at birth, that he's your real son. Mom's face stiffened, and she frantically denied it. No, Nathan, you are our son. We both love you. Mom carried you for 10 months. How could she not love you? I interrupted her coldly. If I had known I would be born into such a morally confused family, I would rather have died in your womb. Mom's sobbing stopped abruptly, her face etched with disbelief. Dad's face turned ashen. Even a usually bossy Anna didn't dare speak. I couldn't be bothered lecturing her. I'm giving up the engagement. In 3 days, I expect to receive the updated family register. Once I get my scholarship, I will transfer funds to your account as repayment for raising me all these years. Seeing Dad about to speak again, I added with a smile, "Of course, if you want to become enemies where seeing each other means a fight to the death, that's fine too." Although I said this with a smile, anyone could hear the chilling coldness in my voice. I wasn't the same as in my past life. I had grown. I was the state's top scorer. I was a Harvard student. I had endured for so many years waiting for this very moment. Dad closed his mouth, his expression dim. I didn't spare them another glance and left the hospital room. Just before stepping out, I heard his sigh, full of regret. But what use was it? Regret was too late. 2 days later, the new household register arrived. It only had my name on it. I was finally free. Looking at the bustling streets of Boston, I let out the most relieved smile I'd had in 2 lifetimes. On the day Leo and Chloe got married, I heard the Miller family didn't attend. I didn't care. I just arranged for someone at the wedding to spread the fact that Chloe was an illegitimate child. Chloe was supposedly the sole heir to the main branch of the Gray family, destined to take over the business. With this scandal I created, various factions began to attack them. Chloe's position within the Gray family became precarious. Even the Gray patriarch showed signs of abandoning her. Without the Miller family's backing, Leo had no status in the Gray household. Less than a year later, Leo fell ill. Chloe didn't stay by his side in the hospital. Instead, she was busy looking for a second husband. Rumor had it Chloe's position was unstable and required strategic marriage, so Leo had to conveniently pass away from his illness. I went to see Leo one last time. He lay on a hospital bed, utterly pale, looking close to death. "Nathan Miller, you must be very pleased, right? Mom, Dad, and Anna don't want me anymore. Even Chloe wants me dead." Leo struggled to speak, but still glared at me fiercely, unrepentant. "Nathan Miller, I really hate you. Why do my parents have to die while yours are alive and well? I wanted to steal your parents take over your life, grind you into the dirt. I sneered. You got what you deserved. Pausing at the door, I smiled. Don't worry, Chloe will join you soon enough. Less than 2 days later, I heard Leo was dead. Chloe, as expected, married the illegitimate son of a real estate tycoon. The next time I saw Chloe was in her office building. After graduating, I joined the IRS and was part of the team investigating the Gray Group's taxes. Through my meticulous review, we confirmed their group evaded taxes and was even involved in illegal transactions. The Zhang family conveniently pushed all the blame onto Chloe, the illegitimate daughter. Ultimately, all of the Gray family's assets were seized, and Chloe fared worse. She went to prison. I heard she kept requesting to see me, but I refused. After all, the Miller family wasn't bothering me anymore. My life was peaceful,